Hey guys, Catherine Shelton from Treasure Hunting with Catherine. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the email that's just come out from Amazon. The one that says new grocery category selling policies. So it looks kind of scary at first glance. There's a whole load of new policies that Amazon are going to be enforcing if you sell groceries. I don't think it's too bad. I'm going to walk through it with you and we can talk about each stage and what it actually means. The first thing that you need to know is that you have until May the 23rd, 2015 to get your groceries compliant. So that's good. You have about a month to get everything sorted out. So let's take a look at it and see what you need to do, if anything. Okay. So the first thing it says is going to happen is you need to have your ingredients and nutrition facts listed. And the way you do this, they want you to have an additional picture. It needs to be a secondary product image on your listing. They want you to take a picture of the back of the packet, of that box that has the ingredients, the nutritional facts. You just need to take a picture of that. It needs to be super clear. And you need to upload it to your listing as a secondary image. You probably could Google for one, but I would take it yourself if possible, because sometimes ingredients do change, nutritional facts do change. I would take that picture yourself and add it to your listings if it's not there already. So that's quite an easy one. It's quite straightforward. I do think it's possible they may start suppressing listings that don't have them. So I would go through, just go into your inventory, look for all your products in the grocery and just check your pictures. Make sure they all have that secondary image. Bear in mind your main image should be on the white background. It should fit with all Amazon policies. Secondary images don't need the white background. They don't necessarily need that. I would just focus on making it a very clear picture of the nutritional information. So that's the first one. Okay, the second one, I think this isn't going to apply to most people. The second is about bulk and commodity foods. What? What are bulk and commodity foods? Okay, you know when you go into like Whole Foods and they have all those, or like Sprouts, those kind of markets, and they have all the containers and dispensers with like rice and candy and flour and grains. You pull it down and you fill up a bag. That's pretty much what they're talking about here. They're food that really isn't very easy to distinguish. So they don't want you selling those unless you've gone through the brand registry. Because I think the problem is someone creates a listing for like rice and then 10 sellers jump on board and they all say they're selling rice, but it's all coming from different places. And I think they're just trying to clear that up. So I would probably stay away from selling those kind of foods anyway. But if you are a farmer or a producer or a manufacturer, you need to go through the brand registry, which is kind of a more complex subject. You need to apply to get into the brand registry. But if you're just a regular reseller, you probably don't need to be worrying about that. Just buy things that are already packaged, already have a UPC on them. Okay, the next one down, I like this one. As a consumer, I really like this next policy. Any dietary or allergen-free claims such as organic, kosher, gluten-free, dairy-free must be present on a product's packaging in order to be listed on the product detail page. Okay, so don't make any claims about your product unless it says so on the packaging. Blatant plug time. My coffee says USDA organic, fair trade certified on the packaging. So if I was going to sell this on Amazon, I would take a very clear picture of all the packaging with these stickers showing clearly. And then I can claim it's organic. I can put that in the listing. But if it's not on the package, don't say it. And you know, this is kind of a tricky one because things like gluten-free, you can look at a product. You can look at, I don't know, a packet of jelly beans. You look at the back and you look at the ingredients and it doesn't have wheat listed anywhere. It doesn't have barley. It doesn't have malt. So you're like, okay, it's gluten-free. It doesn't have any gluten ingredients. But it might have actual, like, hidden gluten in there. So just because it doesn't say wheat or gluten or anything like that on the package, you can't say gluten-free unless it specifically says gluten-free or it has the symbol, the GF gluten-free symbol. Don't put it in your listing. And it's the same for anything else such as dairy-free, sugar-free, and so on. You can only use those words in your listing if it says it on the packaging, and make sure you have a picture of it on your listing. So that's straightforward. Okay, the next one is price per unit data policy. Okay, so what they're saying with this is that for any listing, they want customers to be able to compare. And that's really what they're saying here. So if you have a packet of K-cups, it's pretty easy to know how many K-cups are in your pack. It's like a 12-pack. It's like a 6-pack. Great.
So at first I was a little bit confused by this price per unit, and I wondered, okay, what do they need here? Are they needing you to calculate the price off a list price? What happens if the price changes? And then I read it through again, and basically they just want a unit count. So if you are selling something like K-cups that's very easy to count, you know perhaps there are 12 K-cups in a pack, so you put the unit count as 12. If you have a solid product, and they use whey protein as an example, then you could do it by the pound or by the ounce. And if you have a liquid, then you would do it by a fluid ounce. So it's actually pretty straightforward. You just have to decide on an appropriate unit and say how many of that unit there are in the product that you are selling. So it's actually much more straightforward than it seems.
Now it gets into kind of interesting territory here because it talks about multi-packs. And it says if you have a 2-pack, so okay, let's imagine that you're selling a double pack of those K-cups. So you have 1 pack of 6 K-cups, you have another pack of 6 K-cups, the manufacturer has packaged them together, so you have a 2-pack that the manufacturer has put together, you have a total of 12 K-cups, so it's going to be $6 and they're still 50 cents a unit. So you would still do it exactly the same way for a multi-pack. Let's talk a little bit more about multi-packs, because if you actually go to the grocery category, let me bring up the right page. If you go to the grocery and gourmet foods category approval information, it says for seller-created multi-packs of a single item, sellers must follow the grocery guidelines for UPCs and item package quantity for multi-packs. Kind of ambiguous there, Amazon. So on the one hand, it says you can create seller-created multi-packs of a single item, but then if you actually click the link, the UPCs and item package quantity, it says for most products, a multi-pack listing is only allowed for manufacturer-created packs. So, and then it gives groceries as an example of how you use a manufacturer pack. And the only specific exemptions it gives are health and personal care and home improvement natural cases. So, this is a tricky question. Can you do seller-created multi-packs or not? I think they're saying you can't in the UPCs and item package quantity page. They say for most products, a multi-pack listing is only allowed for a manufacturer-created multi-pack. It seems pretty clear, it seems pretty straightforward. That's what they've linked to. Yet there seems to be an implication in the grocery category that people do create seller multi-packs. So which is it, Amazon? Well, what I would say, a lot of very experienced sellers say that they've had no problem creating multi-packs. In fact, they've said Amazon will make them for them. So, if you want to make multi-packs, contact seller support. Just email seller support, get it in writing, and that way you're covering yourself. If Amazon come back to you and say, hey, you created this multi-pack, You can say, look, I got permission. It's very clear. You gave me permission to do it. So you can appeal any policy violation that may in the future come up from that. Some sellers actually say that seller support will create the multi-pack listing for you. So even better. I mean, they can't really argue with. I mean, they can because they're Amazon, but they can't really argue with something they've done for you. So if you're going to do anything that kind of falls into that grey area, just get it in writing. Get permission in writing and do it that way. Personally, I don't tend to do multi-packs. I bundle. So what I would do is I would get, instead of doing like 2 packs of coffee, I would probably bundle a coffee and a mocha, or 2 different flavors, vanilla and hazelnut. And that's my way of working very clearly within Amazon's rules. I tend to bundle instead of multi-packing. But if you are going to multi-pack, I'm not saying don't do it. The policy files are very shaky. But if you are going to do it, get permission from Amazon. Okay, so back to the email. I got to click back to it. Okay, back to the email. I think that's everything there. I think that we've been through it all. So there was the ingredients and nutrition facts. You need pictures. Bulk goods. We're probably not going to sell those anyway. But if you are, brand registry, dietary and allergen-free claims policy. Don't say gluten-free. Don't say dairy-free or nut-free or anything like that unless it's clear on the packet and stated very clearly. Don't make that decision for yourself. Just go by what it says on the packet. Price per unit, that's pretty straightforward. Just you have to include that price per unit when you create a listing, and it has to be either by the unit count or by the weight measurement. And that's pretty much it. If you're piggybacking on someone's listing, it's a tricky one. I think you should upload that information. If you have access to that information, I think you should upload it. I think it's very likely that Amazon will start suppressing any listings that don't have the ingredients and nutrition facts. And it's very possible that if you piggyback on a listing that makes nutritional claims that aren't backed up, or dietary claims that aren't backed up, I think it's very possible you could end up with a policy violation, even if you didn't create the listing. So I would try and make sure all your listings are as accurate and as truthful as possible, even if you didn't create them. And if you see something wrong, if you see something being claimed to be gluten-free or sugar-free or nut-free, if you see that on a listing and it's not backed up by the images, contact seller support and say, hey, look, it doesn't say this on the images, it doesn't say this on the packaging, please can we take this claim off? And that way you're kind of covering yourself, you're keeping the catalogue clean, and actually looking at these and really thinking about them. I think these are good changes. As I say, I'm gluten-free, and the amount of things that are claimed to be gluten-free when they actually aren't is quite disturbing, because guys, it can make you sick. And if people get sick, they're going to sue or they're going to complain, and that doesn't work out well for anyone. So that's the policies in a nutshell. Hope that made sense. If you have any questions, let me know. You can find me in my Facebook group, Treasure Hunting with Catherine, which is at facebook.com/groups/Catherine Treasure. You'll be very welcome there, and I'm always happy to answer questions. All right, bye.